Welcome to the English News. Thanks for joining us on Bình Phước Radio, television station and newspaper. We begin with headline for today. Bình Phước conference seeks to remove bottlenecks facing industry and trade sector. Xoai City issue citizen ID card, EID account. Representative from the Bình Phước Department of Industry and Trade attended an online conference of the industry and trade sector organized by the Ministry of Industry and Trade to discuss solutions to promote manufacturing and trade in 2023.
In the first quarter of this year, Vietnam recorded modest GDP growth of 3.32%, much lower than in the same period last year, according to Minister Nguyễn Hồng Diên. Many localities that are considered the country's economic locomotive reported new space growth. The conference therefore aims to identify the difficulties facing manufacturing and imports and exports and seek to regain growth targets and accomplish tasks set by the government, the Prime Minister and the industry and trade sector. The ministry suggested connecting domestic enterprises to supply chains of foreign direct investment enterprises and international counterparts, and supporting small and medium-sized enterprises. It will review, amend, supplement, and complete mechanisms and policies for the development of industry and trade, ensuring that goals are feasible and in accordance with signed free trade agreements. The ministry is also pledged to support businesses in trade promotion activities and expanding foreign markets.
Xoai City in the southeastern province of Bình Phước have diversified ways of issuing citizen ID card and electronic ID account or EID for local citizens.
To help citizens obtain ID cards and EID accounts quickly, the city has introduced issuance at police headquarters in Tân Thiên Wards and other communes and wards. The city has also set up a mobile working group that will visit every single house to issue IDs and EID codes to the elderly, people with disabilities, and those with difficulties in travel. Thanks to the application of flexible solutions, the city has increased the coverage of IDs and EID holders. It will direct relevant units to issue ID cards for the remaining population to complete issuance in the localities before April 30.
The steering committee for the implementation of the policy for those participating in the resistance wars against France and the U.S., national defense and international duty, referred to as Steering Committee 24 in Bình Long Town, has held a ceremony to hand over the remains of 25 fallen soldiers to the Bình Phước Provincial Military High Command.
The remains were found and kept by Steering Committee 24 in coordination with the Case 72 teams of military. The remains were found and kept by Steering Committee 24 in coordination with the Case 72 team of military's High Command of Bình Phước Province at Phú Lạc Hamlet, Thanh Phú Commune in Bình Long Town from March 16. Their identities remain uncertain. According to information provided by local people, the remains were properly of soldiers who were killed in 1972 and were brought here for burials by their comrades. Steering Committee 24 and the K-72 team hope that former soldiers who fought in the battlefields of Bình Long and local people can perhaps provide more information to identify the remains of the soldiers as soon as possible. Further information should be passed on to Steering Committee 24 through the Bình Long Military High Command by calling 0974 111 315 or 0974 700 778.
Let's take a look what's going on around the country. At first, we begin with recent activity of President Võ Văn Thưởng.
President Võ Văn Thưởng attended an event to launch the 2023 National Humanitarian Month and mark the 160th anniversary of the International Red Cross and Red Crescent movement in the Mekong Delta city of Cần Thơ on April 23rd. At the event, President of the Vietnam Red Cross Society Central Committee Bùi Thị Hoa announced that the Politburo has assigned President Võ Văn Thưởng to serve as Vietnam Red Cross Society Honorary President for the 2022 to 2027 tenure. In his speech, the President vowed to actively contribute to the development of the society and nationwide humanitarian movement in the coming time. He believed that the 2023 Humanitarian Month, lasting from May 1st to 31st, will receive strong support from philanthropists at home and abroad toward helping 1 million people in disadvantaged circumstances, with priority given to the poor and children with disabilities. Vietnam has been actively engaging in humanitarian activities abroad as a responsible member of the United Nations and the World Humanitarian Movement, he said. Earlier at the Cần Thơ University, the state leader visited participants of a blood donation campaign and an exhibition area showcasing humanitarian relief activities.
National Assembly Chairman Vương Đình Huệ on April 22 local time had a number of activities in San Diego de Cuba before wrapping up his official visit to Cuba.
National Assembly Chairman Vương Đình Huệ and President of the National Assembly of People's Power, Esteban Lazo Hernandez, laid flowers at the tombs of Cuban national hero José Martí, leader Fidel Castro's, father of the nation Carlos Manuel de Céspedes, and the mother of Cuba Maria Graduales de Mació at Santa Ifigenia Cemetery on April 22, Cuba time. Speaking at the cemetery, Chairman Huệ stressed that the party, state and people of Vietnam forever remember the great support that the party, state and people of Cuba have provided for Vietnam during its struggle for national independence and reunification in the past and the cause of national construction and defense at present. He expressed his firm belief that with the legacy and ideology of Fidel Castro, Raúl Castro, and the sound guidance of the new leadership, the fraternal Cuban people will overcome all challenges, stay firm with the path to socialism, and build an increasingly strong and prosperous country.
Australia has so far opened its market for 4 kinds of fresh fruit from Vietnam: dragon fruits, lychee, mango, and longan, reported Vietnam News Agency according to information from Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development.
Vegetable and fruits register the highest growth rate among Vietnamese exports to Australia, only behind fishery products. The ministry's statistic revealed that export turnover to Australia increased at an annual average of 9% during 2009 to 2022. However, experts said, there is still a lot of work needed for Vietnamese agricultural products to secure a firm foothold in Australia, which has more stringent requirements than the US, EU, on labeling, food safety, and trace of origin. According to the ministry, in order to boost agricultural exports, enterprises should have a better understanding about requirements and business practices of the market. Besides, Vietnamese and Australian agencies should coordinate more closely to deal with requirements on biological safety for imported farm produce, and broaden the scope of agricultural cooperation between the two countries.
And in our final story, Xoai dance has long been an indispensable part of the spiritual life of the Thai ethnic minority in Vietnam northwestern region. Together with elder artisans, the younger generation are working together to keep the UNESCO-recognized intangible heritage alive.
Despite her young age, Lo Thị Huyền from Chao Hạ village in Nghĩa Lợi commune, Nghĩa Lộ town in Yên Bái province, is excellent at Xoai dance. As a member of the commune's art group, she has actively taken part in Xoai performances at community-based tourism sites. Nghĩa Lộ town will work to complete its plans to preserve 6 types of Xoai dance. The art groups will also be developed to promote Thai ethnic minority culture while branching out local tourism in a sustainable fashion.
That's all for today on Bình Phước Radio, television station and newspaper. Thank you for watching.